Sure, Brandon. Hey, Coulter Nuanez, nice to meet you, man. First of all, why was Northern Colorado able to kind of keep you guys at bay? It seemed like every time you guys tried to make a run, they just answered right back. You guys only had the lead for a couple of minutes in the second half. Why were they able to stay out in front?
Honestly, it was just in the clutch, like in the especially like at the end. We just need to get stops. Like we can't go back and forth with them throughout the game because we made our runs. They made their run in the first half, and then we got some energy. Then we came in the second half and we made a run, but at the end of the day, it comes down to stops. We got to get buckets and stops, and we just gotta. It's always at the end of the shot clock too. We just got to play the whole possession through.
I think we our plays down the stretch. I think we took a couple bad shots. I think we could have got better ones, but on the defensive end, we just got to finish our plays.
It seemed like good shots were tough to come by today. Why was that?
Well, obviously they did a good job with their scout. They knew matchups. They knew how to play us, and we just really didn't adjust offensively. We just got to stay within ourselves and take the shots that we know that we can make, especially in crunch time when the possessions are very few. We just got to get the best shot possible.
I agree with him. Their scout was good. I could tell they took their time on us. But yeah, I agree with everything Robert just said.
The last possession, 15 seconds left, the game's tied. Brandon, take me through. I mean, how'd they get that last shot?
So they had set guard-to-guard screen. We switched it. I was on the guy. He came down on his left hand. He was kind of in the air. He didn't know where to throw it. And our guy got backdoored, and he kind of just threw it there, and he just threw something up and it went in.
And Robby, last one from me. You look out on the floor during crunch time, and it's you two and Josh, and then a couple of sophomores as well. So, I mean, you guys are obviously a very young team. What's the next step, though? I mean, you must be very frustrated being 0-3 in league play right now.
The next step is just in the second half, when it gets below like 8 minutes, it's winning time. We gotta put our foot down, get stops, and get good shots. We just gotta do what our coaches tell us and not do our own thing. We can't be a bunch of singular players trying to do something on offense and defense. Like, we got to help each other out, and we just got to stick together. And those last 8 minutes, we got to just come together.
Thanks, guys.
You know, I'm kind of watching Josh Bannon just right now here, just throw some shots up. You know, talk about the frustration and getting past that mental block of these, first, three Big Sky games like this, and just all come down to crunch time as well.
Well, the great thing is, we get to play them on Monday. So it's a quick turnaround. So instead of waiting a while and playing them later in the year, we can make quick adjustments, and then we just go out with a vengeance. It's fresh. The wound is fresh. So we're just going to come out Monday. We're going to play like our backs against the wall. We start out 0-3 conference. We got to get some wins. So we got to play all out. We got to go balls to the wall.
Brandon, kind of one for you, from that first, SU or the first Southern Utah weekend to this one, what are some different adjustments that you guys are doing, in these, these really short turnarounds like this? I guess what are some things that, you would do differently now than, obviously you're a freshman, but, that you would have done before, I guess?
With these quick turnarounds, I think it's just, Mandy, you just got to focus. Your head has to be in practice. All the scouts that we do, treatment is a big one. Other than that, you just gotta be disciplined and do what you gotta do in order to be ready for the next game.
Thanks, guys.
You guys, this I guess could be both for both of you guys. Obviously, this is your first taste of Big Sky Conference play. Tough 3 losses. Just so close and everything like that. Is the message in the locker room just kind of not to get deterred because? On your schedule, you still have, 17 more Big Sky games. Like, is that kind of the big message right now, is to just not get too down after tough losses like this?
Well, the main message is just to hustle. Like, we as soon as you lose these games, we get in the locker room, we're looking at the next game. We're not, it's over with. As soon as we come in the locker room, that game's over with. We learn from it and then we move on. But just the big message for these upcoming games is hustle. We just gotta outplay our opponents. We can't keep letting them get in these games. We just gotta play hard to do them.
Finish off plays. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
You guys, obviously starting out 0-3, kind of sucks, especially when it's by 4 points. But both of you guys, showed, a lot of flashes and are looking more and more comfortable out there. For the positive spin of this, how comfortable are you guys starting to get? And, how much do you think you can improve? And obviously you're playing two of the better teams in the conference early on as a really young team. So, I think moving forward, you guys should still be okay.
Yeah, I mean, with each and every game, like we're still a young team. Like a lot of the guys who are getting a lot of minutes are just either freshmen or sophomores. So, I mean, we have a lot of room for improvement. But as far as just getting more comfortable, me personally, just with the speed of the game and just the energy it takes on defense, I'm getting better and better at just remaining focused and finishing out plays. So, yeah.
I can agree with him. I'm getting pretty comfortable since I was able to play more games than he has. So I've obviously have more experience than he has. But, yeah, every game is just another experience. So.
Did you guys feel in the second half there? I mean, you guys are sputtering on offense a little bit, and then both of you guys kind of took turns. It seemed like kind of being a little bit more, aggressive and being able to take it, take it to the rack. Do you guys almost feel like, you guys have such balance on offense? Can sometimes that be tough when you're kind of sputtering offensively because you're not necessarily sure, like, you don't have necessarily the go-to guy to get a bucket necessarily, and how much did each of you kind of put that on yourselves to make a little spurt there?
I mean, that's really the game plan. Like we just keep going, we keep driving, and we keep looking for open lanes, and whoever has it, they just go. Like that's just been our game plan so far. Just because it's with a lot of the teams we played, they're having trouble staying in front of some of the guards, and if they're loading up on that third rack, there's going to be an open lane. So, and we have a lot of versatility, especially with the guards, where we can get in the middle and make plays. So it's really just whoever has an open lane, take it and go make a play.
Last one for me. Sorry, Brandon. Last one for me. I know you guys have practiced at 9 a couple times this week. What's that going to be like having to wake up that early? And the routine is going to be a lot different for a game that early.
Yeah, I haven't had a game that early since like AAU. But yeah, so we've been practicing at 9, just trying to get going, get ready for that game. I think we'd have to get up earlier and just be prepared, just be ready, just get ready to go.
All right, guys, we got Coach DeCuire here. So we'll start with the opening comment from Coach, and then we'll open it up to questions. So if you just want to kind of lead in with overall thoughts on the game.
Trying to figure out how to close. We found ourselves in some really good ball games 3-4 times at least here this year where it's yours to take. And I think the more experienced team has won these games up to this point. And we've got some growing up to do in terms of situations, how to handle certain situations, how to handle adversity, and really make the best play for us at the end of the day. And so hopefully we can get there sooner than later. I think watching some film, these guys will be excited to get back after it Monday.
Jeff, can you take us to the last 15 seconds? First of all, I mean, the lineup you have out there is 3 true freshmen and 2 sophomores. But other than that, I mean, what did you see? What took place? Take us through how they get the bucket.
Well, we knew they'd come down and try to get a ball screen and force the switch and then drop it. And it was looking like they wanted Kuntz to be the guy to make that play. We switched the ball screen, and I think that kind of backed them off. And so they weren't sure what they wanted to do from there. And, he got caught in the air. Bodie Hume cut back door, wasn't quite open for the pass. And he was in the air and wasn't sure what to do with it. And he threw it to Hume anyway. And kind of stumbling back to get it, he kind of caught it and tossed it up and made a shot. And I think it is a little indicative of the game because they came up with way more loose balls than we did. And you can't win close ball games if you don't get the ball.
That said, I mean, it was a nip and tuck game. What did you think of your team's ability to compete? And in your mind, what is just the missing link here? Because now you're talking just 4 points for your 3 Big Sky losses.
Hustle plays, attention to detail. If anytime your opponent gets a rebound on a missed free throw, someone didn't block off, someone didn't do their job on help assisting with the block off. There were some balls that we could have gotten that were long rebounds or whatnot. Didn't do that, and they had too many extra possessions. And so for us, if we are going to win these types of games, we got to get the balls that are ours when we have inside possession. And then the other piece is offensively, we got to be a little stronger mentally in terms of having enough patience to turn down an okay shot and get a better shot. And I don't think we did that when it mattered most.
Did you make any adjustments on Kuntz in the second half? Because I think he had 12 in the first half. You guys did a pretty good job on him after halftime.
Well, I think Eddie did a good job on him when he rotated in the second part of the first half. And then we stole a couple passes that they tried to get to him with Beasley on him. And so I think just bigger bodies on him. I think having, Eddie, Beasley, and a little bit of Bannon, just kind of being bigger and more physical was helpful.
And last one for me, Northern Colorado, they do such a good job chasing you off the three-point line, and then they shot the three pretty well, making 9 of them. How big of a difference was that in the game?
Well, we weren't really looking for threes. We were looking in the paint. And like I said, that's the 5 for 19, I think, that caught up with us. If one of those guys shoot 50%, we win. And they did get loose on a couple threes. The handoff was huge when we had the lead. And then the one by late when they had nothing and he just shot over the top of us. Those two were the ones that were really backbreakers. They don't make those at Holston 7 made threes. That's a pretty good job.
Thank you.
I was actually just going to take off of something that you just said. Were you happy with the shot selection in the second half? And I guess if not, what else would you have liked to have seen?
No, I was not. I don't believe in taking 20, 30% shots. And I think we took a lot of those. Whether maybe if I'm not a good 3-point shooter, maybe penetrating or catching the ball in better spots. I think we shot some shots early in the clock. There are shots that we can make, but not necessarily what we will make all the time. And we needed a high percentage shots, and I don't think that we're doing a good enough job of getting 50 to 60% shots. Therefore, we're shooting in the 40s.
For your team, Travis, I mean, this is 3 close losses in Big Sky Conference play by 4 total points with such a young group, like Coulter mentioned on the floor. Is a big message here just to not tell them not to get deterred and down on themselves and just stay confident because it's been that close? We've
been here before as a program. I think in 2016, I want to say we had 4 or 5 games we lost. We were at the free throw line to win it. And I believe that if we would have won the ones in conference, we probably would have finished first place in conference. And instead we were 5th. So, but you were young and your leadership were sophomores. And right now we've got a really young group. And so you just keep plugging away. You don't want to make up excuses for why you lose, and you don't want to accept being young as your reason. You want to, stay aggressive, keep plugging away. And they all should be angry and be a little more aggressive on their next opportunity to go out and compete.
With those, that group, like Coulter also mentioned, you had, I think 3 true freshmen, 2 sophomores on the court down the stretch. What do you like from them? What, I guess, why that confidence in those guys to be in that situation against a team like Northern Colorado, who has Bodie Hume, who's hit some big shots against you guys in the past and is a veteran at this point?
Well, I think there was a stretch that Riley said, I think all freshmen scored like our last 15 points or something like that. So those guys, they've got the talent to make plays. They made some big plays. We just got to be a little tougher and be a little more together when it matters most. But those guys were the ones that were making all the baskets, and they were really the ones that were getting some of the stops too. So you're just going to play who's playing well, and the guys that are making the plays are the guys that are going to finish the game. And you never know. It could be someone different each time.
Cool. Thank you.
Coach, you said
we'll finish it up with one more question for Coach.
Coach, you said when you were up double digits against Southern Utah and you have a young team, they not necessarily know that, hey, that's a time where we got to just step on the throat. It seemed like there was a time when Hume and Joe Cooch were out for a long stretch there in the second half that maybe a veteran team knows, hey, their stars are out. This is when we need to make a run. Do you feel like that was that a stretch there where it was a big part of the game where you couldn't really capitalize?
Yeah, I thought that was the stretch where we had gotten a lot of stops and we just were really bad on our shot selection. And we shot quick and we I think we got 3 or 4 stops in a row and didn't score either one of them. And I don't know that we ever had a great shot. We had during that stretch, I believe, is when KO got tired and asked for a sub. And he was the one guy that we probably could go into because he was drawing some fouls and making free throws, and we were getting production out of him down low.
Feels like, if I could squeeze one more in, that everyone was like waiting for you guys to go on that run because we're so used to seeing it. And I think the crowd plays a big part in a lot of those runs and helps you make shots. How much of a difference is it? Because it seemed like it was very tangible tonight.
Yeah, there's no home court advantage during the game. It's going to be, one team traveled and one team didn't and things like that. But no crowd is definitely missing from our advantage is what separates us, Weaver, from everyone else in conference. But at the same time, we just got to play through that. And a lot of these guys don't know that because they haven't played in front of those crowds.